I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to speak on the subject of women and peace. And I want to begin by addressing the issue of why it is that such a subject is treated. What is the connection between women and peace? I think that connection is found in some very unusual and very striking statements from the World Centre of the Faith. For example, Abdu'l-Baha has written, "When the equality of men and women shall be realized, the foundation of war will be utterly destroyed. Without equality, this is impossible." And more recently, the Universal House of Justice, in their statement, The Promise of World Peace, wrote, "The emancipation of women, the achievement of full equality between the sexes, is one of the most important, though less acknowledged, prerequisites of peace." What I understand from these statements is that there are two very basic questions in the world. One is the achievement of the equality of men and women, the other the attainment of world peace. And these statements from Abdu'l-Baha and from the House of Justice ally these two issues, ally them, and moreover point out that one is a prerequisite to the other. It follows from that with our concern for the achievement of world peace, we must necessarily direct our attention somewhat to the question of the equality of men and women and how this is to be realized through the power and influence of the Baha'i teachings. I feel as if I'm pretty much exhausted my time. I think I've pretty much taken my hour, but let me finish with a quotation of the words of Abdu'l-Baha. It is one of my favorite passages, and so I use this opportunity to inflict it upon you. It is a passage in which Abdu'l-Baha is speaking about the condition of the world and our response. I find it a very beautiful passage, and I conclude with reading it to you. He says, "From different parts are to be heard sighs of anguish, lamentations of poverty, cries of agony and misery, and the calls for succor have reached the gate of heaven. One hears the weeping of the hopeless, the appeals of the oppressed, the trembling murmurs of the helpless, the harrowing wails of the shipwrecked on the sea of persecution. The heat of conflagration of opposition spreads on all sides. The fire of longing is raging with great intensity. The tongues of the flames of calamity leap forth in every direction. Here one sees the oppression of kings and the thoughtlessness of cabinet ministers. There one sees conflict on the battlefield of thoughts and ideals between ambitious generals, statesmen and administrators of nations and countries. They consult, scheme, plot and exchange views. They organize fallacious and superfluous companies and falsify the established values. And thus do they lay and destroy the foundation of their political careers. In short, when thou observest these things with the eye of reality, thou wilt see that the outcomes
resultant fruit of all these theatrical performances are mirages. Their sweetness is bitter poison. A few days, the earth shall roll on its axis, and these fleeting visions will be completely forgotten. And Abdu'l-Baha concludes, when thou shuttest thine eyes to this dark world, and lookest upward and heavenward, thou wilt see light upon light, stretching from eternity to eternity. The reality of the mysteries will be revealed. Happy. Happy is the pure soul who does not attach himself to transient conditions and comforts, but rather seeks to attach himself to the purity, nobility, and splendor of the world which endures. Thank you.
Australia had begun the 10-year crusade with 14 local assemblies, and that number fell to 7 by 1958, which meant from 1958 to 1963 we had to essentially quadruple the number of assemblies to achieve the goal of 28. So the tasks before us were very challenging, yet we felt it essential to complete the goals of the 10-year crusade as our contribution to fulfilling that crusade and paving the way for the election of the Universal House of Justice. So that very much dominated our thinking during that period.
It's my pleasure on behalf of the Universal House of Justice to convey greetings and congratulations to the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Australia and the Australian Baha'i community on this auspicious occasion. Part of the functions of the Universal House of Justice are those of collaborating and cooperating with national spiritual assemblies in 180 countries throughout the world. And as you can imagine, these are a very diverse group of national spiritual assemblies of varying degrees of maturity and embodying a variety of cultures and religious backgrounds. And I think I can say that the Australian National Spiritual Assembly is one of the most mature and seasoned. It is one of the earliest to have come into existence in 1934, and during the period since that time, it has guided the Baha'is of Australia toward fulfillment of what we see to be the central mission of the Baha'i faith, that of being a source of harmony, unity, and understanding between diverse peoples. It is in that sense that I feel it merits commendation for what has been accomplished during the past 75 years, a contribution to the enrichment of this country and to the development of its spirit of tolerance, multiculturalism, and welcome to diverse people. O my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor, and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps by the light of thy knowledge, and cheer their hearts by thy love. Verily, thou art their helper and their